Good day now, I'm your host, VillainCloud, and welcome back to Genshin Impact. We need to go to Duke's office. I think that's it. We are... Actually, where are we? Oh yeah, we went from the infirmary to Duke's office to talk, so... Let's go and talk. Still in the Genshin imprisonment. Well, when we will finally get out. When we will finally be able to go free to see blue skies.
Excuse me!
We're back.
I take it Mr. Fremenet's condition has stabilized?
Of course! I wouldn't have left the infirmary otherwise.
True.
I've been expecting those two, but might I inquire as to the purpose of your visit, Miss Siegeween?
I wanted to check up on Miss Claran. How are you feeling?
Mostly fine, I think.
If you don't mind, I'd like to perform another quick physical exam. It'll just take a few minutes.
All right. Thank you for looking out for me. I'll take my leave for now then.
Well, want
Have
to
fun.
explain yourself, Risley?
Of course, but I'm not partial to the word choice of explain. How about enlighten?
Please enlighten us much as you'd like.
But where should I begin? How about you start by asking me any questions you have? You can start with whichever one you'd like to get answered the most.
Then Paimon will begin. Did you know about Lenny's goals from the very beginning?
No. I just knew they were Fatui operatives sent to the fortress by the Knave. As for their specific goals, I only figured those out as you made progress on your investigation.
Nice.
You managed to monitor and stay ahead of them even though you didn't know what they were trying to do?
They came here with ulterior motives. I'm quite adept at discerning what that kind of behavior signals.
Why didn't you stop them?
Initially, I thought their goal was just to investigate Child's disappearance. Linny suggested that I had deliberately let him escape, but in truth, I didn't really do anything special to help or hinder him while he was here. Everything he did, from finding helpers to leaving this place, he did on his own. Of course, it's inevitable that the Knave would make a big deal out of her fellow Harbinger's unexplained disappearance. I'm also quite curious about where that Harbinger went. So I figured I might as well let the Fatui do their own investigative work. All I care about is the answer.
See, he's a smart cookie. He's smart.
So you were hoping Lenny's group would just do your work for you?
Yeah?
You make it sound like that's a bad thing. Unfortunately, things didn't go as planned. I assume that Fremenet has told you already, the ratio of primordial seawater around the fortress of Meripede is on the rise. The Forbidden Zone has always been Linny's target, and you got roped into that investigation after running into him. I began to intervene out of concern for your safety, and also to prevent the fortress from becoming entangled in more irksome matters.
Oh, so there is something.
Are the rumors true? That you're also a former criminal?
And why would you put it like that? Isn't staying here all day and serving as the manager of the fortress a kind of sentence unto itself? Another form of prison? I just happen to have some support from the rest of the inmates. That's all.
Oh, right. Paimon wanted to ask, who invited Claran down here?
Me, of course. I paid her good mora to come down to the fortress for some field work. As a champion duelist, Miss Claran could be considered to be an independent party. I needed to find an exceptionally capable person to help me get through the impending crisis.
Oh.
And saving Fremenet was part of that crisis?
You can think of it like that, yes. Credit where credit is due, that boy is quite adept at diving. Had conditions not been as hostile as they were, he probably would have found the missing Harbinger already.
So the Forbidden Zone really exists. What's inside of it?
That's not something you should be asking after. Neuvillette only asked you to investigate Child's whereabouts. All I need to prove to you is that the Forbidden Zone had nothing to do with the Harbinger's disappearance. That should be clear now that you've spoken to Fremenet.
But we've already uncovered that there's something wrong with the infirmary, and we've answered a bunch of questions that you threw at us. Isn't it about time that you answer our last question in return?
You make a compelling case. Do you really want to know the answer that badly?
Shoot.
Yeah, Paimon really wants to know.
Even if the truth may not be pleasant?
Yes.
Follow me.
The truth will never be pleasant. Truth is not that you can say it's pleasant. Truth is the opposite. It's unpleasant. It's not what you wanna hear. Oh.
There's a hidden door here? And a whole basement behind it? Huh. You're pretty good at hiding stuff, Risley.
It seems you've forgotten just what kind of place the Fortress of Meripede is.
Yeah, underwater prison. Yeah, kinda. Okay.
Stand on the central plate.
Wait, is there a secret mechanism or... Whoa!
See ya. Blah, 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 blah. Goes down. Once everyone has taken their position, central plate, it begins to move. Somewhere. Didn't read it that far.
So, this is the Forbidden Zone? Honestly, for a place so well hidden, Paimon sure doesn't see anything special.
And that is...
What a huge door!
There are 3 such isolation gates in total. Generally speaking, I'm the only one who's allowed to go inside. Hence the name Forbidden Zone. Am I correct to assume you're going to run on back and tell your little Fatui friends everything?
Not really.
Well, Paimon wasn't thinking of keeping anything from them.
Well, I'd advise you wait until you've seen the whole truth of this place for yourself before deciding whether or not to tell them.
Oh. Oh. Okay. What lays here? Spinning cogs. Music is airy. Fishy.
Huh. So there's a switch on the side.
Stand back.
Yeah, those are 3 huge gates.
Whoa! They all just went up one by one.
What's that in the middle of the room?
Go on, have a look.
What is there? What's in the middle of the room? This room is really empty and nothing in here, which is quite strange on its own, sorry. There's also a device smack dab in the middle of the room, which looks like some kind of massive salt's eyes gate. What?
I've been interested in what lies beyond that gate ever since I assumed leadership of the Fortress of Meripede. Of course, it would be unwise to recklessly open it, but it'd also be risky and negligent to simply ignore any potential danger that could be behind it. The readings on that dashboard have not budged since the day when I first laid eyes on this place. But over the past year, the needle has crept upwards from its original position, likely because some parameter it's been tracking has changed, if only infinitesimally.
Looks like something is about to boom. Look, it's pegged at almost the
Normally
end.
I would have ignored it, but I happened to have some free time when I noticed it, so I investigated. Any guesses what the reading could be tracking?
The water pressure, the temperature. Wait, we are deep underneath. No, that should be the temperature because it's not that hot. Pressure.
Very reasonable guesses. I've considered both of those as well. Unfortunately, our dashboard is tracking something less ordinary.
What?
The temperature should vary with weather and climate changes, so for something that rarely shifts, the water pressure is more likely. We ran a few tests to increase the pressure from the outside, but the readings didn't change at all. Later on, a few more possibilities occurred to me, such as a potential connection with the primordial sea. I began to make a few preparations based on that hypothesis. Over the past few days, the needle has moved again. With that, and the symptoms that Fremine displayed after leaving the fortress, I can now confidently conclude that the readings represent the concentration of primordial seawater in the seawater nearby.
The concentration of primordial seawater? But we're already under the sea!
And that is precisely the problem. We're at the bottom of the sea, and now we're surrounded by toxic seawater. Somehow, primordial seawater got mixed in, and the concentration is steadily rising.
Primordial seawater is continually leaking into the sea.
Yes, that's very likely.
But forget about the two of us! Not even Novelette knows where the primordial sea could be, much less where we could find and plug a leak. Oh. Oh!
Jackpot.
Seems like you've figured it out. I believe the primordial sea lies directly beneath this sluice gate.
Sluice,
For some reason, the primordial seawater levels have risen significantly, and it's now very close to us.
So that's called a sluice.
The indicators are now red. Although the gate still stands, some primordial seawater has already leaked out and mixed into the sea around us. If this continues, soon it will no longer be able to hold back the primordial sea at all.
And if the primordial sea is leaking through, if this gate falls off, Fontaine will fall with it.
Yeah, you know what the legends say. If this place falls, then everyone in Fontaine will be turned into puddles in the span of a night.
So once we came in, disappearance cases and primordial sea. So this is the root cause of it. Yikes, we got the bottom of the case. The literal bottom of the bottom case. Sheesh.
But that's just too weird! Why would the Fortress of Meripede be built right above a sluice gate for the Primordial Sea? Who built this place anyway?
Your expression tells me you think this might be part of a vast, complicated conspiracy. To be honest, you might find the actual answer may be exceedingly boring. It's just that the secret of the Forbidden Zone had been long forgotten by the nation before I rediscovered it with my research. There's no single founder of the Fortress of Meripede in any traditional sense. What we know about its history has been left to us by the people who used to live here.
So it's passed down generation by generation, but... so people have forgotten about it.
When the previous Hydro Archon, Egeria, ruled the land, all convicted criminals from Fontaine were exiled. The people drove the criminals away like a wolf pack chasing away the banished. The criminals received no sympathy of any kind from the people. They were exiled to the desolate seaside, where they experienced only pain, struggle, and the bone-chilling cold. Some of them began to repent, and prayed to the Hydro Archon, asking if there was still anything they could do. The Hydro Archon took pity on them, and said, "You may go guard my secret, deep underneath the waves." And so, leaning on the power of the Hydro Archon, they gathered underneath the sea and began to build a fortress. They became a community down there in the deeps, and over the years helped it to grow. As the number of exiles increased, more and more people joined the community. When the first group of exiles died, they left the yet unfinished fortress to their successors. The Hydro Archon continued to lend her support, allowing the fortress and what it stood for to continue growing ever larger. Before long, this dark underwater fortress became the sinner's only home. And with that, the people here stopped referring to the fortress as a prison. They saw themselves as repenting sinners who would regain their freedom once they had sufficiently redeemed themselves. But as time went on, people also realized that the fortress was a lonely place. Once they had gotten used to life here, they could no longer feel comfortable living in the overworld. Once they had finished serving their sentences, some people left and some others chose to stay. They'd find some idle position and let their withered souls fade away with the ancient secrets of the past. After many, many centuries, few people still remember the reason for the fortress's founding. Now they just see it as an integral pillar of Fontainian society, as the place where criminals deserve to be sent. Now and again, researchers manage to break one law or another and live out their days in the fortress. I learned all this from an elderly historian. Everyone else just thought he'd made it all up.
Nope, that's
But
true.
now you know every part of that history is true.
Indeed. It's just as the prophecy says. If this gate fails, then everyone will be dissolved into the sea.
Do you believe the prophecies?
To be frank, not really. But sadly, that hasn't stopped this prophecy from proving all too accurate.
True.
Prophecies are troublesome things. Just hearing one will create the first wave of panic. Seeing signs of it will bring about the second, and actually witnessing it in real time, the third.
So, as the Duke of Metropeed, just what do you plan to do about it?
Let's go somewhere else. I want to show you something.
Show us something. I bet Ski had something planned.
This is it.
Your Grace, perfect timing. The results from our last round of experiments have...
Yeah.
Wait, Jurier, he's not alone!
Huh? Lorvine and Jurier?
No need to panic, you two. I've already told them about our plan.
Yeah.
What? After you warned us not to tell a single soul about any of this?
I'm skeptical as well. Are you sure they are trustworthy?
The results speak for themselves, don't they? These two may already know more than you could ever imagine.
All right then, if Your Grace insists.
Oh yeah, We're smart pants.
They seem harmless enough, so I'll trust them for now.
How about some reintroductions? This is Jurier, one of the highest-ranked researchers from the Fontaine Research Institute. He used to work under Edwin. I trust that you've heard of Edwin?
Yeah, we have. Who?
Good. Saves me a bit of time explaining.
Yeah, don't.
Edwin's main areas of research were archeum and gravimeters. As his assistant, Jurier is quite familiar with them as well. I hired him to be my technical consultant.
That's why I found them fishy, these outfits they have.
You want to blow up the fortress of Meripede?
What a lovely idea. I'm already imagining it in my head.
Gotta admit, I'm tempted as well.
Guys, focus! Focus!
That taskmaster over there is Miss Lorvine, and is also one of my technical consultants. While Jurier used to be Edwin's assistant, she used to be Jurier's assistant.
Ooh, are they together?
Was that really necessary?
See, everyone keeps asking this question. Are you too sure you're not a couple and just using your work as a convenient cover?
You never know.
Your Grace, I am not in a relationship with this man.
If I dated her, I'd officially be madder than Edwin.
Jeez, forget I said anything then.
Yep.
Follow me.
Okay, show me what's up.
Whoa, there's another door that goes right up.
Your constant amazement makes it seem like the fortress can do anything.
Looks like we found many secrets. There is another seal.
Paimon really thinks everything's super cool.
Looks cyberpunkish. Is this just a normal room?
Well, let's spice it up a bit. And here you go.
Wait, a ship? This is...
What a huge ship?
That's massive. What?
This is also a production zone that Paimon's never seen before. What's going on?
How much do you know about Fontainian history?
Not much.
Not much at all.
Thank you, Paimon.
Well, then maybe you haven't heard the story of ancient Lemuria. To give you a quick rundown, Fontaine used to be ruled by the Lemurian dynasty. According to legend, the Lemurian king Remus came to this land after being inspired by divine revelation and found the seer Sibila, who had taken on the form of a golden bee. Taking the golden bee with him and riding on a huge ship, the Fortuna, he created his nation above the surging waves. He called his nation Lemuria and used the Fortuna to incessantly search for new tribes and islands, calling on them to join his empire.
Interesting.
There's a ship in this story too?
Where there's water, there'll be ships. People believe that hope can always be found at the end of a voyage.
Wait, hope and then... Nah.
Do you believe that too?
To a point, I think. As you've already seen, I have a whole factory's worth of labor, materials, and technology at my disposal. Certainly can't hurt to give it a try.
True that.
So the moment I began to speculate that the primordial sea might lie underneath the gate, I also began this project.
Nice.
Were you inspired by the legendary Fortuna?
Maybe. Fontainians need something to hold on to cope with the impending disaster.
This is a plan for the ages. Can't you share your plan with everyone?
Were the workers to find out the truth behind this ship, riots would destroy the fortress faster than any catastrophe.
True, yeah.
As the fortress's administrator, I'd never make such a reckless call. Alright, that's enough talking for now. I'll need another 3 cups of tea to soothe my throat. Do you have any other questions?
Nope.
Seems like you're good. Come on, I'll take you back.
Alright. So then...
I'll leave you here for now.
Thanks.
Oh, thank you so much.
No worries. But don't forget, it's up to you whether or not you want to share what you just saw. What you do from here on out will likely affect those 3 as well.
He means that my actions now will decide the next step Linny's group takes. In other words, if I want to tell Linny the truth, I must make him understand we cannot afford excessive conflicts right now.
Yeah, we'll put a lot of thought into it for sure.
Yeah, we will.
Great. I look forward to what happens next.
Me too. So then, we found out the secret. Threat. You know, this secret changed everything. Now I don't see the Fortress of Meripede as a prison. It's a freaking seal to death. Literally, there is they underneath
Next
us.
on the agenda.
That changes situation quite a lot.
Welcome back. Do you want a cup of tea?
I don't think that's not the time for a cup of tea.
How can you be so much like Risley, always drinking tea?
Huh. Actually, now that you mention it, I just remembered something now.
What?
While I was sedated, I could still barely hear two people talking next to me. They were discussing everything, from the leaves to the water and even the teacups themselves.
Must have been Risley and Seishween.
Yeah, I heard one male voice and one female, so it should have been the two of them. They really were just talking about brewing tea.
Nice.
I really can't make sense of this place.
You don't want to know.
So, Traveler, Paimon, were you able to learn anything from Risley?
Yeah, he explained everything.
Very well. Then, would you mind checking your answers against my speculations?
Lenny sounds a lot more like his old self. Feeling better now, Lenny?
Yeah, I took the time to rest, so I'm feeling a lot more relaxed now.
Well, don't be, because I think shit's about to go down.
Nobody else is around, and Miss Sejuin is also busy with something or other. So let's just talk here.
All right, then I'll posit my theories. I asked myself 3 questions. Firstly, why was Fremine affected by the primordial seawater? It was because he dove into the sea. My theory is, the long-lost primordial sea is probably very close to the fortress of Mirapede.
Close.
Ooh,
But no good.
he's good. He got that right on the first try.
That's our Linny.
Secondly, Risley's attitude changed dramatically during the course of our stay here. He ignored us completely at first, then suddenly roadblocked us. Why? I spent quite a long time thinking about this. If he has been monitoring the Fatui since the very beginning, he probably ignored us at first because he was hoping we could find Master Child for him.
Very smart.
What's more, the Fortress of Mirapede is not part of Fontaines' court system, nor does it report to Udex Nervulet. Risley is basically the king of a no-man's land.
Yeah.
As long as the fortress doesn't do anything about Master Child's disappearance, Father can use it to pressure the Fontaine authorities. And while the two factions are pitted against each other, Risley will be free to move between the parties of interest.
Yeah.
If I had to guess, he probably has something that he's working on himself. It's likely related to the secret of the infirmary, but I just can't think of what it could be.
Lenny's gap of the big picture is amazing.
You're super smart.
Thanks so much. Then finally, there's the last question.
Shoot.
If Risley does have a plan, what could it be? All I know for now is that his plan probably has something to do with the changing nature of the seawater. He's even gotten Cloran to help him out. That can't be the full extent of what he's doing. There's probably a secret passageway behind the block in the infirmary, and there's something big in the fortress that most people here never get to see. He has a bargaining chip, and it could be important enough for Father to deal with him directly.
Yeah, smart.
I don't have enough information, so I have no idea what his chip might be. But let me guess. You have the last piece of the puzzle.
Bingo. After some deliberation, you shared information. Just use learn. While sharing information, you saw the emphasize help disputes.
I can't believe it.
The sea will engulf everyone. Just like the prophecy said.
And I cannot read that fast, goddammit.
Could Risley have wanted to meet Father to figure out a way to deal with this crisis? If you remember, I once mentioned that Father sees the House of the Hearth as her base of operations, and she truly wants to resolve the crisis. But how could Risley have known that?
Well, he isn't stupid. Of course he
Or
knows.
perhaps he didn't know and just wanted to bring Father over to his side?
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I understand your concerns as well, Traveler. I'll figure out a way to pass this on to our father. No matter what, we're on your side. The
Good.
two of you have already aided us far too much. We probably wouldn't be standing here right now if not for you. If you ever need anything else going forward, please come to the House of the Hearth at any time.
So that was an invitation. Nice.
Though you may not share the sentiment, after all that we've gone through together, the three of us basically see you as family now.
Ooh, our family grew then. Nice.
You have my gratitude.
Thank you for protecting Linny when it really mattered. And thank you for sharing the secrets of the fortress with us. We didn't think you were going to do it.
Why are you being so formal all of a sudden?
Don't mention it. We can work together again if necessary.
Given your strength, you might not need our help at all. But if you are ever in danger, we will try our best to protect you.
Having a little protection from Fatui? Kind of weird. But okay.
Aww, the sound of that makes Paimon feel all warm and safe inside.
What was that?
Paimon's hungry.
Oh,
Yeah.
you've done so much already. Go get some food.
Alright, then we'll catch you guys another time.
Okay, showtime. Go to cafeteria. Yes. No, it's just confirm. So this. Can I just do that? Yeah, I can. I can.
It's time for dinner. Welfare meals now being served in the coupon cafeteria.
Ooh, nice.
Come on, let's go pick up ours as well. Traveler and Paimon, over here.
Oh, hi, Sejuin.
Are you here for dinner too, Miss Sejuin? And I'm taking the opportunity to prepare Miss Cloran's dinner as well.
Ah, she's there.
Huh. You're right. She's actually sitting in the fortress cafeteria.
Oh, what else she will do?
What would you like to eat?
Huh. We can choose?
Yep, you can. I've already talked to our chef, Mr. Wolsey. It's all on me today, so you can get whatever you'd like.
Then I'll have the tastiest stuff you have to offer. I'll get the biggest portion you have to offer.
Me too! Don't forget Paimon! No problem. Just leave it to me.
Uh-oh. After a while, the meals you orders rise, priority, blah blah blah, luck, Sejuin be able to drinks overused, strange, insist nutritious. Okay, the shake's generally pretty terrible, at least, however, you calm down and relax.
So delicious.
Speed reading, I'm not into the mindset of speed reading for now. Amazing. Free dinners are the absolute best.
Paimon's so happy. Paimon wants to feast like this every day. Feeling full yet? How's the food? Delicious.
Exquisite, thank you. Besides the milk, I mean, everything was super delicious.
I'm so glad to see you all so happy. Oh, see, the expression on your face just now? The muscle here just moved, which suggests that you're feeling quite relaxed at the moment. Sejuin, do you do this to help your patients or to better understand human beings? A bit of both, I suppose. I'm a Melazine, which means I'm very different from human beings. I must know what you're thinking if I want to take good care of you.
Smart cookie.
You're really good at taking care of people. Even though you're so short, you still talk and act like an older sister. Really? You're reminded of an older sister? That's great to hear.
And she's happy. Nice.
And what did you mean back in Risley's office? When you said that you were protecting Linny and his siblings as well? Oh, that. I just asked His Grace to look out for those children, especially that diver boy. I was getting a bit worried after hearing that something was wrong with the water. Thankfully, Clorand is very strong and managed to save him in the nick of time. His Grace also sealed the pipes after Clorand left, to make sure that Linny wouldn't impulsively chase after his brother.
True.
Although the path was blocked, we still stationed some guards there to stop anyone from approaching. They were instructed to only open the door once Miss Clorand had returned. Oh, and I was keeping an eye on Mr. Linny as well. We had to press him, but we couldn't allow him to be in any real danger.
True.
You were all super considerate and really thought everything through. It's just what we do down here at the fortress. At least this has been His Grace's style for as long as he's been the leader.
Nice. He is pretty pog.
Oh, I really wish Monsieur Nervula would come down here more often too. I feel like he'd like it here, with all the darkness and chaos.
Maybe. But that doesn't make sense at all. It's hard to imagine Nervula outside of his office.
Get a good night's rest, you two. You both worked very hard.
Easy. That was easy. Return to dormitories to rest. Okay, which one was it? Which layer? I'm glad that I can click on the layers now. This one. Is it this one? Ayo, we found the right one. Gimme. Gimme, gimme. the right layer. Yeah, boy. Alrighty then, let's see. Good old place.
So much has happened. Paimon just feels absolutely exhausted now that she's finally relaxed.
Good.
Paimon's super sleepy. Are you sleepy too?
Yeah, I'm also getting there. Getting there? Straight there. Oh, she really immediately fell asleep.
Delicious. Paimon wants seconds for free.
Good night.
Out of my way! Get out of my way!
What happened? Why is everyone running?
No idea, but something must have happened. Stop asking!
Huh? What?
Who's yelling? Paimon still wants to sleep.
What's that sound? Paimon, wake up. We need to go out and see what's going on. It sounds like... Okay, alarms, but that sounded like rumbling, like under earth rumbling. Wait, did the seal go out? I hope not.
What happened? Why is everyone running around? Hey, what are you doing?
No time to explain, mate. Goodbye.
See ya.
Hey, wait! What's wrong with these people? They won't even talk to us.
They're here! Yeah! There you are!
Oh, hi.
Oh, thank goodness!
What's up?
Quisto and Laveroon, do you know what happened here?
We came here especially to inform you. Something seems to have gone terribly wrong just now. His Grace is telling everyone to evacuate and get out of here.
Oh.
Laveroon was saying you two are new here and you don't have many friends, so you might slip through the cracks. Haven't you heard all the stories like that? An evacuation is successfully completed, yet you only find out once you do a head count that 1 or 2 people are missing.
Wait, weren't you the one who brought that up? Why is it suddenly my idea?
Hey, shut up!
Okay, whatever. The point is, you should come with us.
You said His Grace said to evacuate outwards.
Yeah, he said to get as far away as possible, upwards and outwards.
Then that means whatever happened just have happened down below. Oh no, this isn't that the gate at the very bottom?
Oh no, it can't be that thing!
Oh, wait, what? What? Hey, where are you going?
Music, the music was playing.
We have to go find the Duke! You two just go and get out! Go on without us!
Run.
Hey! Be careful!
Thank you for the information, by the way.
Attention, please evacuate upwards and outwards, upwards and outwards. If you're already at the topmost layer, then try to move as far outwards as possible.
Good. Ooh, it's getting spicy. Okay. I'm getting interested. Yeah, bring me down. Activate the lift.
They're here.
Just like I said.
What happened?
You're just in time. But be ready to run. Three, 2, 1.
This won't hold it for long. Find New Villette. Tell him the defenses are about to collapse.
Then what will happen to you?
Until he arrives, we're the last line of defense. The gate. How long do you think it'll hold?
That depends on us.
Villette, why are you here?
Oh, hi.
Traveler, I need you to head to the Opera House immediately.
Okay.
Farina will soon be meeting with the knave there. You must protect Farina and make sure she doesn't spend too much time alone with her.
Okay, can you explain everything else to me later?
Will do. You have my sincerest gratitude.
Good. Okay, so I guess he will do that.
Next on the agenda.
Go to Opera House. Easy. Let's just teleport there, because for you it will be teleport needed. So 3, 2, 1.
Look, there are a ton of Fatui and Palais Mermonia people over there. The knave is probably here already. We need to hurry.
Yep, let's go.
Are you two the traveler in Paimon? Monsieur Nervalet has left instructions. Please follow me.
Okay,
Though
easy.
I'm sure he's already explained, this should be a mostly cordial conversation, unlikely to give rise to violence. But it would be most appreciated if you could protect Lady Farina to the best of your abilities.
I'll do my best. Maybe. Look at her just bouncing around. Nice. So we will meet the knave ourselves. She's happy to see us.
Oh, so you two are the honored guests Miss Farina mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, of course. How could they not attend a meeting such as this? I must always have 2 or more guests at my dessert table. Otherwise, the occasion would be too lonely and unbecoming of my station.
It is my pleasure to make your acquaintance, traveler. I have heard much of your accomplishments. I am the knave, one of the 11 Fatui harbingers.
Which one are you? This is Knave, the head of the House of the Heart, and the lineage sibling father. She certainly does that not seem easy to deal with. Greetings, pleasure to meet you too.
I've already prepared seats for you. Come, sit beside me.
So she wants to feel safe.
Perhaps you two are unaware of how Miss Farina and I do things. You see, we actually recently agreed to get together for tea when we had the time. See this? This is a limited type of confectionery that Miss Farina simply adores. There are only 16 slices sold every day. Here, why don't you and Paimon have a taste?
No thanks, we aren't hungry. She seems friendly enough, but I can't be all there is to her. The knave is a force to be reckoned with. I should be very cautious around her.
Traveler, what do you think of this cake?
It's pretty good, it's quite tasty, and I think Paimon agrees too.
That's good to hear. So what Child said was on the mark after all. You do share a taste in desserts with Farina and I.
Wait, Child should have no reason to have said something like that.
I wonder how he's doing nowadays. You must have heard, right? He's suddenly gone missing.
Suddenly.
I'm really worried about his safety, you know. Here's to hoping that he's an excellent swimmer.
You worry about him? I don't think so. The harbingers we met, nobody cares about the other ones. They want them to die. I have faith in his abilities.
Since we're talking about him, I feel like I should add something. His martial prowess really looked certainly pretty impressive, yeah.
Frian looks quite nervous. There must be some kind of bad blood between there and the knave.
Oh, so you're also familiar with his aptitude for fighting, Miss Farina. Oh, right. I almost forgot. Child was subdued by Udex Nuvillette right in front of you.
Yeah.
Against ordinary people, my colleague would never be on the back foot. But alas, he just never imagined he'd run into such a person. I must express my admiration for Monsieur Neuvillette.
I managed to find a few leads on his whereabouts.
Coming from you, that's not surprising at all.
But I thought you would be happier to hear the news.
She doesn't care.
Of course, but it's still a bit of a shame. You see, I would have been far happier had I received this news somewhat earlier. As you well know, a long time has passed since Child disappeared.
They don't care.
Well, in any case, there's no need to worry. We know for sure that Child is still alive.
Oh, and just how do you know that?
Because we found evidence that proved he left the Fortress of Mirapede.
And where did he go after leaving the fortress?
Good question.
Well...
Oh no, Paimon's statement just left us wide open.
The Fortress of Mirapede lies deep beneath the waves. Unless he pranced right out of the main gate, he must have had to swim for it. Do you have any proof that he surfaced safely?
Nope, Paimon, you done goofed. No, we don't. But there was also no evidence that he been injured or killed.
That is good news at least. His sister Tonya sent a letter to Fontaines not too long ago. Since he was unfortunately unavailable, I picked it up on his behalf.
Bullshit. Absolute bullshit.
Do you have any idea how he usually writes back to his family? Dear Tonya, your letter made me feel like we were still enjoying our time in Snezhnaya together. I'm currently admiring the scenery on the streets in front of the opera house. Is it something like that?
How the hell we should know? That's not our problem. She's turning up the pressure. I'm not sure if I'll be able to convince her, but at least I can try this ice from Frina. That sounds good to me, yes.
All letters tend to follow the same few formats anyway, right? As long as the contents are accurate, it doesn't matter so much how it's written or how it's worded.
Incorrect.
Hold on. The water in the teacup is shaking.
I suppose this is also a sign of things to come, Miss Farina.
I don't quite understand what you're trying to say.
Oh shit, you can read her like an open book.
Have we entered into the next stage of the prophecy?
She gave up.
My thanks to you both. I will take it from here.
Sure you don't need a hand?
Quite sure.
Wow. So, what's your secret, huh? Let me guess. Nah, who knows? Maybe it's just your sense of responsibility.
Sounds about right.
Day may come when the prophecy is fulfilled and the waters burst forth. But it is not this day! This ancient power could easily obliterate an entire race. A tsunami of fury would unleash endless catastrophe. This sentence is too severe. Forgive me for overruling it.
All right. Seems like the problem inside has been suppressed.
Let me guess, we're safe for now.
Yeah.
Indeed. But only for now.
I win this bet. You owe me a present.
Very well. It was indeed just as you said.
You made a bet?
We made a bet on the size of your entourage. Cloran thought you wouldn't come down by yourself.
I figured you would have at least brought a few people along for appearance's sake. It appears I underestimated just how confidential the mission was.
Shouldn't you have gotten used to confidential missions by now? That's just how the courts operate.
True.
So what gift must the loser give? Tea?
I bet.
He already has tons of tea in his office. I'm thinking about a set of legal codices.
That wouldn't happen to be a dig at my lack of legal awareness, would it?
Well, I'm sure His Grace doesn't consider the fortress to be outside the law.
I was under the impression the residents of a place like this would be uninterested in the legal codices.
That was obviously a joke.
Funny.
Anyway, you've still got some unfinished business to attend to in the overworld, correct?
No need to stay here if you have a pressing matter. We all know you can't leave Palais Mermonia for long.
Thank you. I hope everything went smoothly with the Fatui Harbinger.
Maybe. Let's see. They had more fun than we up there.
I must say, we've spent long enough playing house.
Yeah.
Miss Farina. As the Hydro Archon, I am sure you understand the exact meaning of the phenomenon we just witnessed. Or should I say, that's what I originally thought. But looking at your expression, was I wrong? And you haven't a clue?
What are you trying to say?
You can read her as an open book.
At this point, I don't think there's any more need to speak as diplomatic representatives. Allow me to speak to you now as just a Fontainian. You know the prophecy by heart, and also that every part of it is being proven true. Yet, here you are relaxing, drinking tea, and eating desserts as if it's all nothing more than a few stray bugs in your garden. Do you really think that's acceptable? The prophecy's hanging above our necks like a guillotine. Every faction is looking for a way to either avert the disaster or save their own. Even the orphans of the House of the Hearth have devoted everything to saving their homeland.
Well, good luck.
But you? It beggars belief just how nonchalant and carefree you have been. From the very beginning, you, the god Focalor, you have utterly failed to take action.
Well, she's doing that.
You're wrong. I've never ignored the prophecy, nor have I just been passing the time in self-indulgence. Retract your accusation and stop doubting the wisdom of the gods with such absurd conjectures.
I am not alone in my doubts, you know. All the children of Fontaine may be harboring the exact same thoughts right now. Oh, great Hydro Archon. How are you going to save them? Save us? How are the people you've sworn to protect supposed to survive in a land that will soon disappear beneath the waves?
I have my ways, and I've been working on them for all this time. Even if you look down upon me, you have no right to judge me. Fontaine will be saved. Even if I still cannot see the true future right now, as long as I continue on as I am, I will be able to hold my head up high!
Farina is not acting like the usual self. She's actually serious. Refuting the knave's accusations, she means that what she says, she's not putting up a front.
Then I ask you, Miss Farina, just what have you been working on? Where can we see it, and what is it doing to help?
So that's all a lie, or she can really not tell us. Because all full of convictions on confidence just now. But now she's deflated like a pop balloon.
My machinations are just like the prophecy itself. They will only reveal themselves at the fated time. It is just that beings like yourselves are unable to perceive them as of yet.
I see. As a god, the proof of your labor always lies beyond prying mortal eyes. Allow me to be so bold as to ask another way. Would it be possible for you to tell us the parts of your plan that are not confidential? Such as your emergency response plan for the impending disaster?
An emergency response plan?
Owned, come on.
Oh, that look in your eyes. Have you not even prepared one of those?
The The emergency response plan is also strictly confidential.
Okay, that's bullshit.
Then allow me to jog your memory. Miss Farina, what is the purpose of your Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal? And what do you plan to do with the massive amounts of indemnitium that has accumulated over the years?
The Oratrice? It's just like it appears to be.
So you also have no idea. If I'm not mistaken, someone's using it to prepare for something. But unfortunately, it would seem that someone is not you, Miss Farina. I first caught wind of this when Linny tried to investigate the Oratrice in the Opera House. You see, even just getting close to the core contaminated him with an extremely large amount of indemnitium. But even if that had nothing to do with you, then what could you possibly be working on, oh great Hydro Archon? Oh, right. I almost forgot. Udex Neuvillette is not at the tea party with us today. Miss Farina, I suppose you must have ordered him away to take care of some troublesome business.
Maybe.
Yes, that's exactly right. Please keep it a secret for me.
Of course I will. Although, I must say, Miss Farina, you seem quite insecure without the Udex by your side. Oh, very well. Let's stop that conversation here. There are still a few slices of cake left, so please, help yourselves, everyone.
So that was a battle of wits. Okay. These aren't topics I can speak about, nor even know about Nervulet's task was. I had to guess he probably went down to deal with the surging Primordial Sea, but can he really deal with it all by himself? Or is Farina being thoughtful or not?
Traveler, I heard that you were recently commissioned to handle a few matters on behalf of the Udex. Why don't you take an extra slice of cake? Those who work hard deserve gratitude and praise.
No, thanks.
You too, Paimon.
Thank you. Paimon will take you up on that offer.
Yeah, Paimon, you can take it. I'm not into sweets. The knave proceed to change the topic, bringing less matters. Atmosphere becomes... I'm not fast reading.
Oh, Paimon's super full. That cake was great.
If it's on my tea table, it must be of the highest quality. Yes, and we must thank the knave for bringing these over as well.
You're welcome. I'm sure the cake also felt greatly honored to be featured at Miss Farina's table. And I was merely catering to Miss Farina's tastes, seeking a chance to chat over tea. It is getting late. Why don't we call it a day? There are still a few matters that I need to take care of, so I must take my leave now.
Very well. We'll end it here.
Mind seeing me off, Traveler? We could use the opportunity to discuss Child before I must be on my way.
Of course.
Paimon's coming too!
Bruh. Okay, you sit here and comb your tits. That ain't gonna work. So where is this seating matter? Oh. Oh, it's just behind there. Okay. Well then let's see. We have only our attack.
Go!
And we lost health. Okay. Follow the knave to the exit. Alrighty then. Let's see what she has to say. Why she wants to speak with us.
I'm glad that you were willing to come with me. Of course, Child was just an excuse. I have no interest in your dealings with him.
Of course.
That's what Paimon thought.
What do you want to say?
You lent your aid to the children of the House of the Hearth. As their father, I would like to express my gratitude.
There's no need. I didn't think that's what you wanted to talk about.
Do I look like an irresponsible father to you? The House of the Hearth is very important to me. You should know that I care deeply about my children.
Was there nothing else you wanted to say?
That was all. Formal topics should be discussed in formal settings, and informal topics in informal settings.
Yeah.
I know you just returned from the fortress of Meripede. Relax. I have no intention of trying to get anything out of you. Linny, Lynette, and Fremine are still there, and I trust their judgment and abilities.
Good.
They've all been working very hard and have always done all they can to fight back against anyone who tried to stop them. Especially Lenny.
You mean Wriothesley. He's a tricky one to deal with. It's unfortunate that Lenny's so eager to prove himself that he can't learn to rely on others, including me. By the way, and you can just consider this a bit of idle gossip, but what's your impression of Furina? You are outside of our disputes, and the freest person in all of Fontaine, able to move around most easily. Allow me to share my perspective with you.
Go for it.
And that's everything that happened during the trial. Master Child was declared guilty and immediately transported to the Fortress of Meropide.
Didn't he say he was coming here on vacation? Does he not feel an ounce of shame for all the trouble he has caused? Forget it. He did give us an opportunity. I will be meeting someone shortly.
Do you require help with any preparations?
No need. I will take care of it myself. I need to meet with Furina, the Hydro Archon. She is at the heart of Fontaine. But what's fascinating about her is that she often seems more like a celebrity than a working Archon.
Oh? Come over here, you little critter, you! You dare to run from me? Stop right this instant!
My goal is just to discover the location of the Gnosis. But I didn't expect the chance to approach Furina to be handed to me on a silver platter. This is so easy, it's actually making me a bit suspicious. Anything left unguarded is usually just bait. But no one will blame someone for taking the bait. After all, from the moment it was attached to the hook, the bait is meant to be sacrificed. It's just as I guessed in the second before I struck. The Hydronosis is not currently held by the Archon. In fact, this Archon doesn't seem like a god at all. And I sense that she's under some kind of curse.
Curse?
Who are you? And what are you trying to do? Please don't kill me! I'm begging you, please!
The fear in her pupils is genuine, so perhaps she's not bait after all. Either way, targeting her has lost all meaning. I left the scene with ease. Nobody came looking for me, and nobody could serve as a witness to my near assassination of Focalor. I suspect even Furina dares not mention this incident to anyone.
So she was assaulted.
Not long after, my informants confirmed what I had guessed. After returning to her quarters, Furina quietly cried alone. She was so scared that she could not sleep that night, nor could she even bring herself to eat her cake. There's no doubt that there's something wrong with her. I began to entertain the possibility that she is not the true Hydro Archon. Perhaps Iudex Neuvillette is actually the genuine article.
Could be.
I have to find the Gnosis. If the Neuvillette hypothesis is correct, he is probably in possession of it. Alternatively, it might have been hidden in a place that's hard for ordinary people to access.
Yes, Father.
My dear children, please speak.
Oh boy.
News from the Fortress of Meropide. Master Child has gone missing. On top of that, the contacts and guards we bribed at the fortress have all gone quiet as well.
Probably the handiwork of that Wriothesley.
I'm afraid so.
This is a good opportunity. The value of a harbinger is much higher than most would imagine. We now have an excuse to exert diplomatic pressure on the Fontaine authorities. Set up a meeting for me. I would like to meet the Hydro Archon and Iudex Neuvillette. Oh, and I have an additional mission for you three.
Yes, Father.
Tartaglia's disappearance was not a part of my plan, but I can use it to make a breakthrough. With this as my excuse, I can ask for an official audience and continue my investigation of Furina and Iudex Neuvillette.
See, I knew it. She wouldn't care about Child. It's just what she's planning into her own sick head.
The initiative belongs to the House of the Hearth. My wish to investigate the Fortress of Meropide will be a front. Lenny and his group will be responsible for the actual intelligence gathering. You should know the rest. Lenny's group is quite close to you, so they wouldn't have hidden anything from you.
We knew it. Yeah, it's a harbinger.
You attacked the Hydro Archon?
It wouldn't mean anything, even if you shouted it from the rooftops. After all, even Farina herself is still pretending that nothing of that sort ever happened.
Alright then.
I've now had 2 chances to enjoy tea with Farina. I have to say, the leadership of Fontaines is even more inscrutable than I had imagined. I once surmised that Iudex Neuvillette must be the Hydro Archon, but now, that doesn't seem right to me either.
How did you come to that conclusion?
I am a servant of Her Majesty the Tsaritsa. Over my years of service, I've learned how a real Archon conducts and carries themselves. Whether Iudex Neuvillette or Farina, neither fits the bill. It's hard to imagine either of them as the Archon.
Well, you're wrong.
Of course, that is all just how I feel. Gut feelings often do not require justification. It is, however, quite amusing to me that after all my years working in intelligence gathering, I've come to realize I am at a complete loss regarding the identity of the god of the land of my birth.
You're just blind and obviously dumb.
Don't you think Fontaine is quite intriguing? A catastrophe looms, yet many secrets have yet to rise to the surface. It looks like Fontainians will have no choice but to save themselves.
Yeah.
Ultimately, though, one must survive in order to do anything else. Should the need arise, I would be happy to cooperate with you.
Thanks, but no.
You don't need to commit to anything right now, of course. I have a feeling that the situation will continue to evolve, and as your name is often connected with noble deeds, I'm sure we will work together someday.
Hopefully not. Nervolet?
He certainly returned quickly. You must want to catch up with each other, so I'll leave you to him.
Thank you.
Neuvillette, is it over?
For now, yes. But this issue will prove quite thorny in the long term. I'm concerned that sooner or later the prophesized events will occur. Thank you for protecting Farina.
Maybe ask what happened down there.
To put it simply, I used my power to force back the primordial sea and reseal the sluice gate.
As for what happened on our side, you recount that happened at tea party with Nervolet.
So as expected, the knave has turned up the pressure on Farina. She's trying to feel her out, though I'm still unsure as to her motives.
Can I ask you some questions?
Permission granted.
Do you have enough power to force back the Primordial Sea? Does that mean you have some deeper connection with the Hydro Archon?
Whoa. It can't be that you're the real Hydro Archon, right? But that's just a speculation on our part, though. You can't tell us? Then that's okay. We can talk about something else. We won't try to force you. You guys in Fontaine are super strange.
Can't you see? Oh my god, it's obvious. I hope you know and you can see that it's obvious.
If by the phrase "you guys" you are referring to Farina and I, then although I'm not sure just what you are trying to imply, I must clarify that I do not share her positions on a multitude of topics.
What do you sense in the fortress of Meripede? Did you manage to protect those that need to be defended?
I believe so. The fortress has a long and complex history. It has seen much grief and suffering.
Yeah.
And now, another catastrophe will soon be upon us. I mourn this turn of events.
Huh?
Can see that.
Why is it raining all of a sudden?
The clear sky suddenly filled with dark clouds. The rain became heavier. Light rain soon grows to a downpour. The moment before Neuvillette is just mentioned his sense of grief. Thinking back to legends, what Fernet said, this is the will of a dragon. Water once reside in the fontaine. Every time he weaves, the skies will cloud up and pour rain. Wait, Neuvillette, you can't be.
You may be closer to the truth than you think.
Oh? And what are you thinking?
He, the dragon, surveying of the water.
The dragon of... what? Huh?
Yep.
Please do not be so surprised.
He's the Hydro Dragon.
Farina?
Neverlet, are you listening?
Ah, my apologies.
We were just guessing randomly. We didn't guess right, did we? You're not actually the dragon sovereign of water, right? Well, if you don't want to confirm or deny...
You guessed correctly. I sincerely hope you'll be able to keep this a secret for me.
You know, his look is obvious. Look at his iris. Of course, he has a dragon view.
Right, of course. We'll definitely help you keep it a secret.
And he's having pretty big knowledge, so obviously.
There's still something Paimon wants to ask you, though.
Please, go ahead.
Well, if you are the dragon sovereign of water, and you were able to force back the primordial sea from the fortress, then since Fontaines' prophecy is all about seawater, couldn't you just use your power to solve the crisis?
None of the currently living dragon sovereigns in the world, myself included, possess our full dragonhood. They say that when the first usurper arrived on Tivat, they seized a part of the dragon's power. Today, that stolen power is the basis of the Archon's authorities.
There are 7 elemental archons and 7 matching dragon sovereigns.
The dragon sovereign of water who lived through that era perished a long time ago. As their successor, I know far less of that part of our ancient history. In any case, I believe I will not be able to do much unless the Archon disappears and returns their elemental authority to me. Given the status quo, however, I would recommend finding another way to deal with the prophecy.
True.
Oh, so even you can't solve it.
I still have some urgent matters to attend to at my office. If you have any more questions regarding ancient history, you are welcome to discuss them with me at a later time.
Please go right ahead. There's a place that Paimon wants to go too. Traveler, why don't we pay another visit to the Fortress of Meripede? Paimon is a little worried.
Sure. See you later, Nebulet.
We'll see you another time.
Take care.
Thanks, Jesus. Return to present, yes. We're gonna do that in the next video, so I'd greatly appreciate if you could smash the like button, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.